everyone, it's Beverley here from Reinventing-You. I am so excited to have with me today Mel Sherwood, who I'm going to be interviewing, and she's going to be sharing with you some wonderful golden nuggets about what keeps her incredibly positive, always chirpy every time I have a conversation with you, Mel, and see you as well on camera, you know, whether it might be on LinkedIn or wherever in person. You've always got this cheery smile, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's delightful to have you with me here today. For those of you who are not familiar with who Mel is, well, the best way I can describe her as being is a pitch presentation specialist, get my words out here, who works with entrepreneurs and business professionals who want to maximize and influence and impact, enhance confidence, credibility, and charisma. Wow. So I hope that kind of sort of just summarizes a little bit about what you do actually, Mel. I know you've been around here for quite some time, certainly in Scotland. I know you do internationally as well, as part of your role as an award-winning presenter. And I'm excited to see what you're going to be sharing with us today. So Mel, just give us a little insight as to how you fell into this interesting, inspiring role.
Wow. Okay. Hi, thank you for having me. So how did I fall into this role? I have a really mixed background. I worked as, I've studied performing arts, so I worked as an actor and a singer and a presenter in Australia. At the same time, I had a corporate career, which saw me in mainly communications and marketing type roles. Then I reinvented myself, I suppose. And I went traveling after a relationship breakdown. I went traveling. I kind of had a belated gap year. And my intention was to live in the UK and work for about 6 months, save some money and travel back to Australia. But I never left, and I ended up in Edinburgh. And I fell into a role. I was working as a PA, a temporary PA in an HR department in an organisation in Edinburgh. And I then was the person who was looking after learning and development went on maternity leave, and my boss gave me an opportunity to take on the role while she was on maternity leave. So I sort of fell into learning and development, which I really loved. It kind of combined all of the skills and experience I had, and I loved it. And that was until I didn't. And so I reinvented myself again. And I left my job with the idea of setting up an online platform for the performing arts industry. And I pitched that business idea to a startup accelerator, and they said, look, we're not sure about the idea, but we like you. Come on the program and prove to us that it's feasible. Very quickly, I realized that everyone I spoke to while I was doing my research said it was a great idea, but there was one big problem, and that was that no one was prepared to pay for it. Okay. So in terms of running a business, it wasn't that great. But what happened was that I found I was really good at pitching the idea. And as a result of that, people started asking me to help them with their pitches. And I'd kind of seen when I'd been out networking and that sort of thing, that people weren't, they might have been amazing at what they did, but they weren't really good at talking about that. And right. So that's how this business evolved. And I have coordinate a whole lot of parts of my background. And now I absolutely love helping people to confidently communicate and articulate themselves more effectively.
Right, wonderful. And I know that's kind of a big challenge for many, isn't it? Sometimes you have that message, you know what you want to say, but you just can't seem to communicate it in the right way. I know I've struggled with that in the past myself, and it's wonderful when you get over that hurdle, but I suppose every opportunity to speak might still sort of just frighten you a little bit sometimes, Mel, when you're on the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every time I ask people in my workshops or if I'm working with someone one-to-one, when do you feel most nervous? And it's like, when I haven't prepared. Well, hello, that's the simple equation. More preparation equals fewer nerves. But I talk about the idea of not just preparing what you're going to say, but actually preparing yourself as well.
Absolutely.
So preparing your mind and preparing your body and your voice so that you can use all of the tools at your disposal to enhance the way you communicate.
Yeah, fantastic. I know in the past when I've undertaken some speaking engagements, I've had like dry mouth and you kind of freeze on the spot and you think, can I get a glass of water or something?
Would you like a simple tip for that?
Oh, whoa, fantastic. Share it, please.
So have you ever eaten salt and vinegar crisps?
Yes.
So what I want you to do is just imagine right now that you're eating salt and vinegar crisps.
Wow. That's quite tangy.
It sort of makes you salivate. So some people like to imagine they're, biting into a lemon or sucking a lemon or something like that. But it's amazing how powerful our minds are. And the amount of times I've been just about to go on stage and my throat's been, my mouth felt like all the saliva had just been hoovered out of it. Yeah. And I've just been able to think of salt and vinegar crisps, and suddenly I have moisture in my mouth again, which is
wonderful. Well, for those of you who are listening to this call, you've just been given a fantastic tip to get you over that hurdle of dry mouth, or just generally having a bit of fear, stage fright or whatever, the fact that you might be presenting something to someone. Wonderful. So for women coming along to this event, Mel, who are at various stages of reinventing themselves, how has your level of confidence impacted your ability to create wonderful material and help to change, create a shift really in their mindset so that they can actually go on to do what they really want to do?
Yeah, I think, unlike anybody, my confidence goes up and down, and depending on the circumstances, but ultimately I've got a fundamental belief that we are all born confident and we learn doubt. So when you think about young children, but quite young, there's never any, they just go for it. They just do stuff. They don't think about it until society and people around them start to feed them just little, not even consciously sometimes, but just, subtle messages that they maybe should doubt themselves. So I think it's about kind of peeling back all of the layers of doubt to that core confidence. And ideally not relying on the outside world for that confidence, although we all do, we all fall into that challenge. So for me, there's a whole lot of tools and techniques to help really maintain that confidence and positivity, I suppose, as well. And I've done a stack of personal development work over the years, and I still do, I'm still learning. One of the key things I think is to get out of your comfort zone, and the more you actually do stuff, the easier it becomes. It's like public speaking. You can't get better at it without doing it. You have to step outside your comfort zone just a little bit to enable you to build that confidence. I once interviewed a guy who someone told me that he was the most confident person they'd ever met. So I had a chat with him and I said, what makes you confident? And he said, well, the stuff I'm not confident about, I just do it. I thought, well, actually that makes sense. And one of the things that's worked for me over the years, and not everyone agrees with it, but for me, the whole fake it till you make it idea. So it is you act as if. So if I'm not feeling confident, I act as if I am. And without being inauthentic. You've got to, it can't be over the top or anything. But I've done it, actually, I've done it since I was quite young, and I didn't even realize I did it. So one example that I remembered recently was where I was ice skating for the first time, and I was sort of, holding the edges and, getting myself around the rink very, very slowly. And then, if you've ever been ice skating, you come to the gateway bit where you've got to let go of the side get past that without falling over. So I was doing this, and then as I was about to approach one of the gaps in the wall, a girl who was about 2 years older than me, she was, really, to me, she was just the epitome of glamour. She was about 10 years old. She had beautiful flowing ponytail and a cute little ice skating outfit on, and white boots, not the higher ones that I had.
Okay.
Anyway, she just basically came onto the ice, and she glided to the middle and did a bit of a pirouette, and then went backwards off to the other side of the rink. And I looked at her and I went, oh, I want to be her. And then I can remember as an 8-year-old just making that decision. I'm like, well, I'm never going to be her if I don't let go of the sides.
Absolutely.
And so I just acted as if I could ice skate, and I just let go. And now, of course, I wasn't gliding as gracefully as she was, but it helped me get past that holding onto the side thing and just go, actually, if I trust it and allow myself to almost, not only mentally, but physically take on the aspects of what it would take to be a good ice skater,
Yeah.
it enabled me to do it. And I realized that, I've been doing that most of my life in various different ways. So I think that's one of the key things, actually, is just to give it a go. And
Absolutely.
step into it.
And not being hard on yourself in the process, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think we're so self-critical, aren't we? Particularly women.
Yes.
If I don't get it right, and if you do get it wrong, then don't let it be the stopgap to you getting up again and building resilience and moving
Gosh,
forward.
I've had some disastrous performing experiences which could have crippled me and never had me on stage again. And I'm grateful that the people around me has supported me, but also that I had the guts to do it again, really, and just to go, you know what, actually it wasn't perfect, but perfect is just not perfect is okay. And I actually, even recently, I was delivering a talk to a group of professional speakers. Now, there's no pressure on me, of course, when I'm delivering a talk to a group of professional speakers and I claim to be an expert in this. So the pressure was on and I was getting myself all angst-ridden. And a wonderful woman called Pam Burrows, who she's known as the people booster. And she absolutely is. She's so sparkly and wonderful and boosts you up all the time. But she was speaking at the same event. And we had been messaging, and she messaged me after I'd said that I was feeling a bit of angst. She said, "Do you know what, Mel? They're not expecting perfection. Just be of value, and you'll definitely be of that." And I thought, oh yeah, as long as I'm of value to people, it doesn't matter if it comes out perfectly or not. And that was a really nice reframe for me. And I think that's one of the things, to keep those women around you who support
Absolutely.
you and help you reframe things and look at things from a different perspective, because that really, really helps.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think that's a really important message, Mel, that you bring out here, because that's the essence behind this whole reinvention convention for women. And this came again as a result of some of the experiences that I've had personally in my transitions through life and business. But also the conversations that I've had with women as well, and men as well, in coaching situations and organizations that I've worked with, and appreciating the importance of being part of a supportive network, like-minded individuals who can really resonate with your kind of message, but also understand the challenges that you have, and then each coming together and just providing that additional support and bonding, and you're not doing it in isolation or anything like that, is really, really key. So how important is it for women to be coming along to this event, particularly those who lack confidence in themselves or procrastinating or they're fearful of, whatever it might be that's standing right in their pathway at the moment, but they know they have the potential to do much more and provide that value? What would you say to them, Mel?
Well, you're asking me how important. I'm going to say it's super important. Because it absolutely is. I mean, you've pulled together an amazing program, and I can't wait to sort of see all the speakers and learn and share with everybody.
Thank you.
And if you are at that point, which I think, there are so many of us around where we're at that point of thinking, well, actually, what's next for me, and how do I, really get that confidence and the momentum and the positivity to move forward with whatever the next step is for me, then this, the program that you've pulled together for the day is really going to help with that. And I would be saying, just jump in and book your ticket today,
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
And also to have fun in the process, Mel.
Yes,
because that's a big part of it, isn't it? Again, we're so hard on ourselves and we work so hard that we often forget to have fun in the process. We read about it, we hear about it from other influential speakers, but when it comes to ourselves, to actually give ourselves permission to have fun in the process.
Yeah, I know this is one of my big problems as well, is that I tend to not allow myself to enjoy it sometimes. And I think I just pulling together a group of women who are all looking for the same thing. How empowering is that going to be? I think the inspiration that's going to come from that day, and the sense of I can really do this is what I think is going to be the main thing that people come away with.
Wonderful. And also challenging them to hone down into the specific area of reinvention they want to create as well, because often we come at it from all sorts of different directions and we kind of get confused in the process, which actually then creates a lot of fear and anxiety and overwhelm unnecessarily. So we want them to get focused pick one.
Yeah, pick one and do it, because that's one of the things that I'm challenged with, is the overwhelm. I want to do everything at once, but you're absolutely right, it's crucial. And I think the day is going to really help people to get clear on what they want to focus on and move forward with, rather than trying to do everything at once.
Wonderful. So, color red. Wow.
Oh.
Each time I've met you, Mel, I have seen you in red. I've seen you in other colors as well, but the red suits you absolutely brilliantly. The dark hair, the red against you, the red lipstick, everyone can get away with it. You seem to always have the right shade. So how did red come about? Just give us a little snippet. She'll be talking much more about this on the day. So if you want to find out, you've got to come along. So just a little snippet, Mel, about what red is all about and what it will do.
So red is all about, well, I was in a really messy place about just over a year ago, and pretty low. And I had bought myself a cute little red convertible car, which I wasn't excited about driving. I sort of felt like I was beating myself up. It felt a bit too showy offy for me, because I couldn't really get excited about anything, to be honest. And I stopped wearing my red lipstick. And as you know, it's kind of part of my identity. So when people, when I wear it when I feel good, and I wear it when I want to feel good, but I just couldn't seem to be bothered with anything really. And I had a chat with a friend, and about 2 hours we just spoke for, and at the end of it he said, Mel, I think really you need to get back to being who you are. And he said, everyone associates you with the color red. It's vibrant and energetic and positive. So he said, you just have to really make an effort. Put on your red lipstick, go for a drive in your red car. And he said, just stop being blue and be more red. And
wow.
It was very simplistic. And he, we both recognize you can't just stop being blue if you are properly feeling blue.
Sure.
But what that did was, yes, I did that. I went put on my red lipstick and went for a drive in my red car. But the words "be more red" were ringing in my ears afterwards, and it inspired this whole new program that I'm developing about, what does being red really mean? And it's about stepping into your authentic power and using that to make an impact in the world. So I'll be sharing more on the day, but that's a little snippet.
Wonderful. I'm excited to hear more myself as well. So that's absolutely wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. So if you're sitting on the fence right now, thinking about coming along to this event, and you haven't booked your ticket yet, what will you tell them, Mel?
Book. Don't even think about it. Just book and come along. And I can't wait to see you there.
Lovely. I can't wait to see you either, sort of, Mel. It's been a wee while since we've caught up, so it's a great opportunity for all of us to come together, have fun on the day, walk away with something incredibly valuable, and just learn from each other as well as we move forward in 2020. 2020 and beyond. Okay, so lovely. Thanks for joining me today, Mel.
Thank you for having me.
And look forward to seeing you on the day, 4th of February 2020 at Edinburgh Yotel. Take care now then. Bye-bye.
Bye.